Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chair of the NEA Foundation Board of Directors, Sharon Gallagher-Fishbaugh.
Good evening. Welcome to my favorite event of the year. It's near and dear to me because I am very proud and fortunate to be an educator, just one of many dedicated professionals who help students learn. You know, since our beginning, yeah, really, seriously, I'm gonna applaud. Since our beginning, the NEA Foundation, from 1969 on, has served as a laboratory of learning, offering funding and other resources to public school educators, their schools and districts, to solve very complex teaching and learning challenges. We believe, and I think you will agree, especially our educators, that when educators unleash their own power, ideas, and voices, communities, schools, and students all benefit. The outstanding educators we acknowledge tonight are a small sample of the best educators from across the country. These educators, like millions of others, have the uncanny ability to help their students find their passions and unlock their unique talents. And speaking of talent, we have some amazing performances for you this evening. The show started with the very brilliant and charismatic piano player, Cyrus Chestnut. Will you give him a hand again, please? And to guide us through this evening, our host is a star on the stage and screens, both large and small. Her Broadway performances include Sweet Charity, West Side Story, Raisin, and Ain't Misbehavin'. She starred in Fame, the film and TV series, which ran for 5 seasons and earned her 3 Emmy nominations and 1 Golden Globe. Her amazing portrayal of dance instructor Lydia Grant gave viewers a window into the world of dance. In 2001, she founded the Debbie Allen Dance Academy, a school that provides comprehensive dance instruction to students from all ethnic and economic backgrounds. She currently plays the role of Dr. Catherine Avery on Grey's Anatomy. Yep. My friends, please welcome Debbie Allen.
And thank you for that warm welcome, Sharon, and thank you so much, and good evening. I'm so happy to be here to celebrate the excellence of our public school educators who are the backbone of the success of this country. I know how, yes, that's right, you want to give yourself applause. I know how important you are because I am a product of public school education. Yes! I grew up in Houston, Texas in the late, hello, yes! I love this room. I love the way it echoes. This is, you know, I can start singing right now, you know, I know, it's not about me. But I grew up in Houston, Texas in the late 50s and 60s when the civil rights movement was taking hold of this country like brush fire. And my teachers were all on a first-name basis with my parents. That was the kind of time it was. It was a time when segregation was the norm, but it was in public schools that I ignited my study of literature and music and joined the orchestra playing the bass, the biggest instrument I could find. It was in public schools that I sharpened my dance skills as a cheerleader, yes. And as queen, I was the drum majorette striding in front of a 70-piece band on Thanksgiving Day parade, and if anything got me ready for the Academy Awards, it was that. If you didn't drop your baton on Thanksgiving, you could make it in this world. It was in public schools that I learned the beginnings of Spanish and German and realized that the world was a much wider place than Houston, Texas. And to my favorite teachers, I want to thank them because they made me understand what it was to be a community. I want to take this moment and say thank you to Mr. Harrison, Ms. Lockhart, Ms. Mitchell, Ms. Sheila, Ms. Whedon, and so many more. Thank you for helping to develop my mind and delivering me into this world as Debbie Allen. We have got to keep the energy and the love and the support to our public school system. This is where most of our genius is going to come from. Let us be very clear. Right after elementary, junior high, and high school, I went to Howard University, right here. So with all of those incredible teachers, it was how I framed and formed my true cultural identity. And those teachers and professors have been my mentors from Fame to Amistad to A Different World to now Grey's Anatomy, which is a teaching hospital. I can't get away from the teaching thing. I love it. So I give much honor and grace to my teachers and all of you. Now I am pleased to introduce you to the NEA Board, the NEA Foundation Board of Directors. I would ask that you hold your applause until the end. Once again, the Chair, Sharon Gallagher Fishbaugh, Vice Chair, Kevin Anderson, Secretary Treasurer, Donna Blackman, Nick Archuleta, Dahlia Bilal Threets, Crystal Brown, Sean Patrick Corcoran, Pedro De Jesus Jr., Christian L. Dufus, Jeffrey Frond, Peter H. Heckman, Julian Vasquez Heilig, Stacy Herndon, I'm getting it right, Carmen Ortiz McGee, Harriet Sanford, Catherine Underwood, Sandra Walker, Joy Whitlow, Marianne Woods Murphy, Kathy DeZaire, I just got the Spanish thing with me, I'm sorry, and Lily Escalson Garcia. Please help me in recognizing all of you, the NEA Foundation Board of Directors. They need to adjust this a little bit. It's just a little high for me. Anyway. And now, please welcome NEA leadership team. I am going to ask them to stand at their tables while we recognize them as a group at the conclusion of their introductions. Once again, NEA President Lily Escalson Garcia, Vice President Becky Pringle, Secretary Treasurer Princess Moss, and the members of the NEA Executive Committee, Eric Brown, Kevin Gilbert, Mari Kaufman, Shelley Moore Krajcic, did I say it right? Krajcic, I think I said it right. George Sheridan, Hannon Vandering, and NEA Executive Director John Stocks. Please help me thank these committed union leaders. She began her professional journey as a public school classroom teacher, which led to a senior executive career spanning more than 30 years with nonprofit and public organizations. Her unwavering commitment to strengthening communities by building on the skills, talent, and aspirations of each of its members has guided the path of her career. During her 12-year tenure as president and CEO of the NEA Foundation, She has transformed the depth and breadth of its programs and grant making and oversaw the organization's transition to one of the highest rated education charities according to Charity Navigator. Please help me thank and welcome Harriet Sanford to the stage.
Woohoo! So, Debbie, we're really honored to have you with us. We know that you value our work, and when you join us on stage, we are that much more special. So, thank you. And I want to send a big shout out to the many returning awardees. Now, I know some of you are way in the back, but you're still special, and we're glad to have you here. I can almost see you. So over the years, I've used my time on this stage to tell stories. My stories are always built around teachers and their students. I tell these stories to celebrate the myriad of ways educators help keep the promise of public education. Several years ago, I told a story about a text message from a student I taught over 40 years ago. Yes, I started when I was 5. Seeing his name in that completely unexpected text message, totally out of the blue, I instantly recalled his expansive smile and his generous heart and his seeming disinterest in school. Or maybe, as I said that night, it was my inability at first to find the right teaching strategy to which he would respond. But for those of you who know me, I kept plugging away until I found the key to unlock his love of learning. His text message to me read, "Harriet Sanford, exclamation point. This is Elander Lewis. When you were my teacher, you brought this man in to help shape me up. Ooh, because you were worried about me. It made me feel special and important. You were amazing and memorable. You helped lay the foundation for me to dare to believe in my dreams. Over the years, I've referenced Ms. Sanford and her belief in me. You just always seemed to know what I needed, a word of encouragement, a gentle, loving touch, or someone I could relate to. So after I read you his text message, I showed you a picture of Elander. I hope it's coming up. Maybe, I don't know. But even as I showed you that photo, I dreamed of the moment he would join me on this stage. So tonight, let me introduce you to Elander Lewis, my student of over 40 years ago.
Good evening. I hope I can make it through this evening in these comments without crying. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. I am honored to be here and join in this celebration of excellence. I, too, am the proud product of public school education. Albany High School, excuse me, Hackett Middle School, and where I had the good fortune and the kind blessings to meet Ms. Sanford, Arbor Hill Elementary School. A big reason why I stand here before you today is because of teachers like yourselves. Teachers who went above and beyond the contract that they serve or the T's and C's of that contract and their job descriptions. Those are the teachers that students always remember and sometimes reach back out to and come in contact with later in life. They are the ones that do more than teach us math or science or any other subject for that matter. They are the ones that do the little things, whether that's give a hug, provide hot chocolate on a cold winter day. They lift us up when we are down. They are the calm and comfort in the midst of storms in our lives. They continually believe in, value, and encourage our unique selves. When Ms. Sanford was my teacher, my life was chaotic, to say the least. With an alcoholic mother and an abusive father at home, school became my refuge, and Miss Sanford became my savior. She helped me through that year, that year first and foremost, simply loving me just because I was her student. The unconditional demonstration of caring was the foundation that opened my mind to the joy of learning. Miss Sanford gave me the courage to believe in the possibility of my dreams in spite of my circumstances. I will never forget Miss Sanford. She helped a little boy from a project tenement believe he can change his stars. I now have a family of my own, and I reside in a county that has the highest median income in the country. I don't say that to you to be braggadocious. No, not at all. I say that to you to say that all students deserve to have at least one Miss Sanford in their lives. And so, Miss Sanford, I want to thank you and all of you here who now are or have been teachers for the differences that you make in the lives of your students. One day, you too will get that same text message or that same phone call, because you never know what a little gesture of hot chocolate or showing someone that you love them or that they should believe and dare to have the courage to believe in themselves and the dreams to aspire to be something more than their current circumstances. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Just stand right here. So my message tonight is the same as always. Educators do not need to wait 40 years, nor do they have to be celebrated at a gala, although that would be nice. But what all educators can do is believe in each and every student, and that belief will be the most powerful catalyst for student-driven learning and the success that will follow. In that way, educators can celebrate every day. Thank you very much. Enjoy the evening.
Oh my God, that was so touching. You know how important you are, for real. Thank you, Harriet. I'd like to take a moment to recognize some very special guests joining us this evening. Please welcome 3 former chairs of the NEA Foundation Board of Directors: Mark Chichester, Elizabeth Oliver Farrow, and Laurie Fitzpagato. In addition, we welcome 2 former NEA presidents, Keith Geiger and Reg Weaver. And former NEA Executive Director, John Wilson. Also here with us tonight is the Virginia Secretary of Education, Atif Carney. We're pleased once again this evening to be streaming the gala live on the NEA Foundation's website. Yeah, so let's take a moment to welcome all of our viewers at home watching this online. Those who are viewing at home may not get to enjoy the special dinner, but you will be treated to a number of extra videos and program components during the broadcast, so please enjoy it all. Generous gifts reflect big hearts, kindness, and a sense of shared purpose. All of these attributes apply to the NEA Foundation sponsors who deserve recognition tonight. At the genius level, we give very special thanks to Bank of America, California Casualty, and Horace Mann Educators Corporation. At the SAGE level, we recognize American Fidelity, First National Bank of Omaha, NEA Members Benefits, Southwest Airlines, California Teachers Association, New Jersey Education Association. In the house, all right. And Ohio Education Association. All right, a big round, come on. At the philosopher level, we acknowledge Illinois Education Association, NEA and Virginia Education Association. In addition, we want to give a special shout out to the Union County Education Association. For more than 10 years, this New Jersey local has purchased a gala table, and we greatly appreciate their ongoing support. Please join me in applauding them for their continuing commitment to excellence in education. Now, whether you're joining us at home or right here with us, if you're a tweeter, we want you to start tweeting, honey. I know, we always say we need eye contact and put the cell phones down, but right now, it's okay. We want you to participate in this great night and tweet while you're watching the show. So please be sure to tag your tweets, #NEAFGala. Later in the evening, we will share some of them with you. That'll be fun. Now, to carry us into a great dinner, well, actually, this is more like a very early evening dessert. Please welcome once again from the famed Howard University, my alumni, the very talented Cyrus Chestnut.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Saiz Kamaluddin on the flute. Dr. Saiz Kamaluddin. Starting out our interpretation of Hello, Mr. Herman Burney on acoustic bass. I hope some of you didn't mind the Stairway to Heaven. All's fair game here, you know. We're going to move on. I know it's not Christmas time. The next piece we're going to play, you usually hear a lot at Christmas time, but it's cold outside. It's part of a record that I grew up with, and probably many of you, some of you are familiar with the great pianist Vince Guaraldi. Yeah. I'm not going to play Linus and Lucy tonight. That'll be another time. But a beautiful piece. If you remember the scene at the ice at the pond with the kids skating around, we like to do for you skating.
Recent global shifts in the economy, culture, technology, and the environment have contributed to a rapidly changing world. To thrive in the interconnected global age, students and their teachers need to be supported as they continue to develop their own global knowledge and understanding. The NEA Foundation recognizes that in order to prepare students for the future, the educator must first be equipped with a global awareness and disposition. In 2010, the Global Learning Fellowship was created to provide teachers from across the country with a professional development consisting of 10 months of professional instruction and an international field study, giving them an opportunity to lead the profession by acquiring the necessary skills to integrate global competence into their daily classroom instruction, thus contributing to the narrowing of the global achievement gap.
I think I became a teacher to really fulfill one of my life goals, which is to help people and solve problems.
When you're a teacher in a classroom, especially if you've always taught in the same place with the same group of kids, you get into a routine, and quite often you develop school blinders. You believe that your school and your classroom is what education is like all over the country and all over the world and even throughout your state, and it's not necessarily the case.
Part of being a teacher is really impacting the lives of kids beyond the classroom.
So there's a whole crazy world of sharing that has been evoked by this experience, and it's academic, it's personal, it's global, and it's all about framing what you do in the classroom every day through a global perspective.
Education is transformational, and the good teachers know that, and they put their all into it.
The opportunity to get out there and try it and fail and learn reminds us of what our students go through on a daily basis too. And so not only is it a great learning experience for us, but it helps us to become better educators for the future.
Hello everyone, welcome to China.
I cannot wait to share with my students the stories and the images that I am absorbing right now. This is how history comes alive.
It's just interesting to see all these places with like-minded people. I'm here to learn something from China that I can bring back to America and feel like I'm blossoming like the lotus.
Globalization is something that you can really grab onto, and that's something that needs to happen so you can experience something different.
I have been changed professionally and personally, and I know that's going to have a huge impact on my students.
I've activated a global perspective, and I found strategies and tools to use every day so that my students can learn to think differently.
It really wasn't about the trip. It was more about what happens after it, what happens before it, and how it changes your practice.
The impact that this kind of program can have on a teacher's professional development is more than you would ever be able to get within a classroom setting.
I don't think that I will look at education in the same way.
It's not about pouring some kind of global content into a kid. That's no better than having them to fill out a worksheet. I'm having them change the way they think about the world, and that comes from my changing the way I think about the world.
All fellows develop a lesson plan, unit plan, or full curriculum integrated with global competency skills. By creating these plans and sharing them with educators around the world via an open source platform, fellows are contributing to an increasing field of knowledge on this topic. To learn more, please visit www.neafoundation.org.
gentlemen, please welcome your host, Debbie Allen.
Oh, you all are having fun. I don't want to interrupt. Having such a good time. This building is amazing. I've never been here before. I feel like I'm in Game of Thrones. Khaleesi, where are my dragons? So I hope you're enjoying dinner. Keep chatting, it's okay. Well, as Sharon said earlier, we're bubbling over with talent tonight. Our next performer hails from a big, big family of 7 in the heart of South Memphis, Tennessee. In 2015, his innovative and mind-blowing movements landed him on the cover of the Wall Street Journal's innovative issue. He danced with Baryshnikov, toured with Madonna. He's a true jewel who seems to defy gravity. Now, as soon as y'all sit down and quiet down, before I give y'all a timeout, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats as we welcome, and many of you will meet, Little Buck.
I was born in Chicago, raised in Memphis, Tennessee. Didn't start dancing until I was like 11 years old. The dance style I do, it's a dance style that started with Memphis underground rap music. And that music, the way it was produced, gave us a certain balance. When I was around 16 years old, I got into ballet. We made a deal with this artistic director. We would teach hip hop and then they would teach us some ballet, and that's how it happened. As performing artists and as dancers, we see everything as art.
Little Buck. Bravo. That was just pure genius, pure genius, pure genius. So, I want to talk to you a little bit. So, where did you go to school? Was it a public school?
It was absolutely a public school. So, I attended public school in Memphis, Tennessee. It was Carver High School. Yeah, and it was a great school, you guys. They just recently shut down, unfortunately, a year ago. I think it was due to just I think it was a financial issue with the school. There wasn't enough money to keep it going, I think. But it was a great school. And what I got out of it was the camaraderie. I was lucky enough to have a lot of teachers that really believed in me at Carver because I believed in myself. So it made them really push more. And yeah, that's basically the school I went to, Carver. It was
So I want to ask one really important question. Do you think that we need to really reinstate arts education into public schools?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you my reason for that. I really love public schools and what you get out of it and the camaraderie with the and building with all of the students there. But I went to Carver High School right before I graduated. My mom transferred me to the first visual and performing arts school that opened up in Memphis, and right before my last year. And I attended that school, and just the arts that were involved, and everything, even from going to lunch, having the experience of like, when I'm at lunch, it wasn't just lunch, it was kids practicing their tubas, kids practicing their music, it was so much camaraderie going on, and so much collaboration going on with the students, with their art, that I've never seen anything like it before, and I wanted to see more of that at my public school, and to know that there's, the NEA is doing everything in their power to make that happen in public schools is just incredible to me. So I think that having the arts introduced to my education really helped change the way I looked at art. I'm now work with Damien Wetzel and with the Turnaround Arts program, and I work in-house in a lot of schools. We go out to different schools and help incorporate arts into kids' education in public schools. So that's one thing that I'm doing right now to help out, and if it wasn't for having arts a part of my education, I probably wouldn't even be in that mind frame right now with my dance and with my art. So.
Okay, one final thing. Did you know that Steve Jobs took dance class? The creator of Apple Everything y'all know.
I did not know that, yes, but you learn something new every day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Little Buck, everybody. Oh, baby. That's right, Steve Jobs took a dance class. So what we're talking about is that arts in education is part of what will ensure innovation. And as I've traveled around the world, and everyone emulates America, everyone wants to be like us, it is the arts and our music and our dance that transcends language, culture, religion. So even where we don't know we're praying to the same God, we're dancing to the same beat. I just know, as one of the original teachers and founders of what is now the Duke Ellington High School of the Performing Arts, I just know that if we put the arts back in public education, attendance will improve. That's right. Let them know they can't take that hip-hop class if they don't have a B average in English. Let's start working it. All right. That felt good. The Horace Mann Educators Corporation is a long-standing supporter of the NEA Foundation and its work. Here to help us recognize the 5 recipients of the 2018 Horace Mann Awards for Teaching Excellence is Alan Robinson, Senior Vice President of Fields Operations and Sales Management.
Good evening. And on behalf of the members of Horace Mann family, it is once again a pleasure and an honor to be part of this special and well-deserved evening of recognition. As the largest multi-line insurance and financial services provider serving this nation's great educators, we at Horace Mann are deeply committed to the men and women who work in our public schools. Our sponsorship of the Awards for Teaching Excellence is one way that we can demonstrate how much we value the critical role that educators play in our society. So now it's time to meet the 5 2018 recipients of the Horace Mann Awards for Teaching Excellence. We'll get a very personal look at each honoree through short videos filmed at their schools. Joining me on stage in this recognition are Sharon Gallagher-Fishbaugh, Harriet Sanford, and Lily Eskelson Garcia. And now, here's our first film.
At Horace Mann, we applaud educators' dedication to teaching excellence, ensuring all students receive a quality education. We believe in helping educators find solutions to help them achieve financial success, to live better, and retire happier. That's why we proudly sponsor the NEA Foundation Horace Mann Awards for Teaching Excellence, to honor educators selected by their peers for their professional excellence and dedication to their students. Please join me in congratulating and honoring the 5 individuals who are this year's Horace Mann Award recipients.
My classroom is very different than many high school classrooms. It's designed sort of like a Victorian library, so to speak. It's very real, but it's also very academic. It's warm, it's inviting. It pulls them in, and right away they know this is a place to think.
When you walk in his room, you know I am in an English classroom. I'm going to learn Shakespeare. This is Brit Lit.
When you walk into his classroom, you could see that he is a lifelong learner, that he is someone you want your child to have as a teacher. He is someone you want to have as a colleague, but most importantly, Bobby Kavnar is someone you want to have as a friend.
I genuinely believe that art is the way we learn to see each other and put ourselves in each other's shoes and learn empathy. As it is, if you've studied Midsummer, it makes a lot of sense. The importance of the humanities is that it teaches us to be human and what it means to be human.
When we inspire kids on a more artistic level, they tend to grow and do even more successfully on the academic level.
And part of that is being able to feel for others and know each other's stories and share each other's stories. It's actually done really smartly. Like, it's pretty smart, yeah.
Mr. Kavnar is a performer, like through and through.
One of the things that we often say is that
teaching is 1/4 preparation
and 75% pure theater.
And that's what he cultivates in his classroom, where students are free and comfortable enough to start creating their own worldviews and thinking for themselves.
So we do theatrical performances of Shakespeare in order to understand the text better. They'll use themselves, obviously, but they'll use parents and community members and teachers who perform just one scene.
That is perfect.
His flight was madness when our actions do not.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Give me the daggers, the sleeping in the dark but as pictures.
By the privy of my thoughts, think quick to stay.
They will perform these scenes, they'll record them, and then we actually watch them here in class. And that's the idea of teaching Shakespeare. It's not so that all these kids can someday go and appreciate just Shakespeare. It's so that they can see truly great theater and great literature done well.
Perfect.
And be able to realize that there's talent like that today, and that they can be that talent, that they can go out and produce these things.
All right, excellent.
Teaching is very fun when he's around, and there's never a dull moment in his classes.
Mr. Kavner's class really inspired me as a teacher because I really want to create an interactive and engaging participatory environment.
His passion is public education, a quality, free public education for everyone. He always calls it the great equalizer, and he goes around and speaks about it to everyone who will listen, but then also takes it through the right channels and works through our state government, fighting for the students.
It's stunningly good, yeah.
Many of our great artists and thinkers and inventors actually were born in poverty and were given that opportunity to let their genius show. And that's how public education equalizes life.
All right, we got it.
Please welcome Bobby Kavanaugh, accompanied by the president of the North Carolina Association of Educators, Mark Jewell. Now, our second honoree.
This school is the only alternative school for elementary school students in the district.
We work with children who have discipline issues and social issues, but the teachers and the staff, the principals, are devoted to helping children.
Many of my colleagues, when they hear about alternative school, they tend to run from it, but I run to it because those students, they have to be taught as well.
Nothing has worked before now. So if we don't reach them now, we have some kids that will never be reached. Elementary school is the foundation. I think we are one of the final interventions before some of our kids get on that prison pipeline.
A lot of them have parents and maybe even grandparents who are incarcerated. And we're trying to break that system. We don't want that to continue. Let's get ready to spell. T-O-A-S-T-I-N-G. Toasting. All right, good job. It doesn't stop here at the school. Once the day is done here at the school, I shift into second gear and move on to what is next, and that is community service work.
Tia is the consummate teacher. She's a consummate leader and union activist.
You might see her working with children, or you might see her in her working with the NAACP.
Start this off with a photo that you're gonna draw. I can't give up. I can't give up because I know that it's no telling what would happen if we did. Rap music emerged. What does emerge mean? Can somebody give me an idea of what you think it might mean? Yes, Andrew. To appear. To appear, that's right.
I didn't have too many people that would kind of like take that time and that effort that she gave to him.
I'm like on the 6th grade level in reading. I'm doing great because she really helped me. She put her heart out to help me.
I want to be the person that they said that no matter what, I didn't give up on them.
Every time I see her, I get a big smile on my face because she represents the best of Baton Rouge.
She puts students, she puts people, everybody else before her, and that's what makes her great, her compassion.
She's a great teacher. She gonna really make it in life because she got a great heart, like helping people with a lot of things.
It feels amazing to see these kids transform over the past 11, 12 years. I think that I've made a great impact on the students I've touched, and for many of them, they told me that I've not only taught them academically, but I've taught them life lessons, and that was my goal.
Please welcome Tia Mills, accompanied by the president of Louisiana Association of Educators, Deborah Mew. Brava. And now our third honoree.
Our philosophy, our motto here at Patsy Summer Elementary is that we are developing, inspiring, and empowering world-class leaders and lifelong learners. And I would say that Revathy really epitomizes that.
She is always looking for the challenge. Everyone's going to be at their own level of learning, so it's a challenge, but at different levels for all the students all the time.
My teacher mailed it across the ocean.
She really pulls out the best in the students and makes them really think, but yet she is able to do that with a very fun-loving atmosphere.
Revathy has such a great heart for students and for helping students to be successful, and she works really, really hard to make that happen.
And when you talk to Revathy and you truly see, you don't just see her heart and hear her passion, but you feel her passion for education.
I got into teaching because I enjoy learning myself. I worked as a systems analyst, and I realized I was teaching everybody how to program more efficiently. You know, people started telling me that I was a good teacher, and then, you know, I started volunteering in my daughter's school and started enjoying that feeling. One day I just quit my other job and joined Texas State University and went through their teaching program. Now here I am. Macbeth is a very easy read, actually. It's a lot of fun. But you also learn lots of life lessons from this play. I think teacher is the single most factor in learning. A good teacher helps you develop that curiosity and helps you appreciate learning, and you want to learn more from, not only from that teacher, but forevermore. You're all talking in secret. That'll be air. Who else wants to try?
Right here. It's really important to have outstanding teachers like Revathy, not only who can challenge students to learn at really high levels, who can give them the confidence to be able to do that.
I just feel that the brain grows only when you stretch it beyond its limits a little bit. So I like to challenge my students. Primarily, I think I want them to be curious, and I also want them to know that it's really up to them to take their learning into their own hands. That's why I like to start with a blank piece of paper, because I like to see what they come with.
Ms. Balkrishnan is a great teacher. She pushes every single one of us. She not only treats us like a student, but also like her own family, and I like that about her.
We would get kind of a free-form assignment, and she would kind of guide us through it, but it was really our own thinking that drove us to new places. We were kind of figuring things out for ourselves.
Every time I leave a conversation with Revathy, I'm excited to teach the next day. She motivates me to try something new, which puts me out of my comfort zone, but I love it because that just makes me grow as a teacher.
But I feel really lucky to have had Miss Balakrishnan, and I absolutely love her to death. I see her as like someone who helped build me up to what I am today, and I'm deeply, deeply thankful.
Yeah, we are too. We're very thankful.
I mean, I keep telling them, one day you won't have a teacher. What are you going to do, shut down? So here's his class. So what I'm here for is to teach you how to learn, so that when people have disappeared from your lives, you continue the learning. That's how it is with me.
Please welcome Revathi Balakrishnan, accompanied by the president of the Texas State Teachers Association, Noel Candelaria.
Please welcome the NEA President, Lily Eskelsen Garcia.
Y muy buenas noches, compañeros. I love you guys. Thank you for bringing this beautiful heart into this room. And we'd like to recognize our longtime sponsor, who continues to stand by the NEA and our foundation, and the public school educators here in the room today. Please join us in thanking Bank of America for their generous support that helps us improve public education for all our students by giving the educators resources they need in and out of the classroom. There's a thought, resources that we need. What do you think? Let's do that. Bank of America is a strong supporter of the Foundation's Grants to Educators program, and because of their generous donations, devoted and inspirational educators, just like many of you sitting in this room right now, can receive funds to improve your skills via professional development and enhance your classroom instruction. Bank of America is truly making a difference for teachers, for support professionals, and for students across the nation. And we are forever grateful. Clap, 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 clap. Yes, we're so happy. Thank you. Joining us next on our stage is a woman who worked in a hodgepodge of jobs, just like most of us that are in education, as a DJ, a medical assistant, a pet sitter for the rich and the famous, and as a journalist before she found her true devotion as an educator. She taught English, and her personal way with words grips your heart, so that you can't just read what she wrote, you actually feel it in your soul viscerally. Her high school students were refugees from dangerous and war-torn countries. All were survivals of deep and debilitating trauma. And as she's said, they taught me to never make a promise that I can't keep, because most were victims of violence, and they were already afraid to trust anyone. Not only did this 2015 National Teacher of the Year keep her promises to her students, as an instructional coach, a role model, and now a PhD candidate in Harvard's Education Leadership Program, she's helping other educators keep the promise of public education. Please, please, please welcome our friend and our compañera, Shauna Peoples.
Everything I needed to learn, I learned from Dr. Seuss. And so I figured when I started teaching juniors and seniors in high school, I could turn to Dr. Seuss for a message that they could take with them when they went out into the real world. And so as I searched my brain for something that would stick with them, I thought of something that stuck with me, and that's the Lorax. Do you remember this story? The Lorax lives in this beautiful community with the truffula trees and the humming fish and the brown barbaloots in their barbaloot suits. And into this idyllic community comes the Onceler. And he strip mines that public good for private profit. And only the Lorax is there to advocate. And the Lorax famously says, "I speak for the trees have no tongues." And then at the end of the book, when he's sitting in the ruins of his broken down factories, after he's torn down everything, after all of the trees have been cut down, he tells the little boy who is standing there, "I think I finally understand. You know, the last thing the Lorax said to me was, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, things are not going to get better. They're not." And then he throws a truffula tree seed down to the boy, and he says, "That's the last one, take care of it." And so I thought about that for my students. And then I thought about us tonight, and that's what teachers do. In a sense, we take our content and we plant it like seeds into our students, and we believe that the seeds that we give them will grow and bear fruit in a better world for all of us. Teachers are hope enacted. And so I think about that as well when we now see these forces outside of education that kind of remind me of the Onceler, who want to come in and privatize education, who want to take the public good and strip mine it for private profit. And I think that there's you and me, and we have to be the Lorax standing between that for our kids. And you know, when we stand inside our classrooms and we pledge allegiance, we put our hand over our heart, and one of the things that we say is that we pledge justice for all of our students, no matter their race, no matter their religion, and no matter their immigration status, they deserve justice. And so I'm going to ask you to remember that. I'm going to ask you to remember that pledge. And I have to tell you, I get scared too, and I have to be braver than I want to be, and I have to be bolder than I want to be. And I have to remember that pledge, and I have to remember my students. It's my students that keep me going. And so when I think, I can't do this one more day, I'm too scared, it's too big, I'm too sad, I can't stand to read the news anymore, all I do is I remember that pledge. And I remember my students. And I remember what schools are. A school is a symbol of hope for the people who build them. And that's true whether it's a school built out of tires in the West Bank, or if it's a brand new building in Jinan, China, or if it's Paladura High School in the north side of Amarillo, Texas. A school is a promise that a community makes to itself, that it believes that it has a future, and that its young people are worth everything we invest in them. And we need to hold our leaders to that promise. So I'm going to ask you to join me. If you'll take your hand, put your hand over your heart. And I want you to think about who's in your heart. I want you to see their faces and remember their names. That's the engine of your advocacy. And whenever you feel too scared or too sad, I want you to put your hand on your heart. Remember and be brave. Our kids are counting on us. Thank you for being warriors for our children.
Terrific. Now, who's ready to have a little fun? Southwest Airlines, our official airline, hello, wants to help us celebrate by surprising and delighting a few lucky folks tonight. I want everyone to find your program card. It's on your table. Come on, everybody find your card. You got it? Now flip it over. If there is a little red sticker in the bottom right corner, if so, congratulations, you are a winner. You are a winner of a $100 Southwest Airlines gift. I know, honey, it's not gonna get you that far, but it's a gift. Congratulations to all the winners. To collect your certificates, please take your program cards to the back of the dining room, to the tables with Southwest signs during the upcoming break or during the 9:30 break. Remember, you must present your program card to receive your prize. Take it with you. We hope you'll go out and connect with someone you love and make a memory. Thank you, Southwest Airlines, for providing this gift. Keep enjoying your dinner. Keep tweeting. Are you tweeting? Did you all see Grey's Anatomy last night? All right, all right. Enjoy.
At Southwest Airlines, it's always been about heart. It's about loving people, about putting others first. It's about being more than an airline. It's about finding that one way to serve that makes each person feel special. It's about building resilience through connections that last, about being part of a community that helps one another, because distance shouldn't keep us from being neighbors. It's about living responsibly and doing things the Southwest way, which means we do it because we want to, not because we have to. Because whether in the air or on the ground, we believe community is more than a place. It's at the heart of what brings us together. We have a strong history of investing in our communities, economically sustaining communities at their core. Yet Southwest is much more than a partner. We champion causes and build connections that help cities thrive. Our heart is to do what's right. We want to protect our communities, respecting, valuing our resources. Our heart doesn't simply give back, it gives forward. Because we know that the most resilient communities are the ones with the strongest connections. And we believe the act of connecting can make the world feel a bit smaller and the future a little brighter. And it all starts with heart.
Put the tape. We need one more key. So it's working. It's working. Ready? Alright. Let's try. Yeah, dude. Let's do it. This is so
so cool.
Explore, play around a little bit, see how you can control either the bongos or the piano.
I didn't put it on. I put it on my forehead and it's not working.
And you have to attach it to your little circuit board that looks like a controller, right? Yeah. Looks like a little game controller.
We're all public school teachers, but we wanted to offer something to the kids and families beyond the school hours and beyond the confines of school curriculum, school education.
And it's been a great program to help kids in science and help families with the kids in science too.
All of these people have come together in support of improving student learning, with this idea that family also counts, and so it's students and educators and their families all on this learning journey.
We're collaborating with school districts and community centers and really just enjoying the opportunities to bring really enriching STEM opportunities to lots of different kids.
I would say we've serviced over 1,000 kids at least in the past year and a half.
Whether it's preschoolers or high schoolers or families, there's something for everybody. It's like being in a candy store of learning.
They get to learn from experience. They have a lot of thoughts, but a lot of times they can't do things hands-on in a classroom environment. We let them go. We let them have the imagination where they can build and make mistakes, because making mistakes is part of science.
Currently, right now, we're discussing some new renovated space here in Wallingford, which will give us lots of different programming opportunities and possibilities.
We're across various towns in Connecticut, and I just think the more kids are exposed to it, the better off they would be.
You know, although it takes a lot of work and dedication, we find it very rewarding.
We are blown away by what we see.
The grant was really important actually in the implementation of the pilot, because there was a necessity to digitize the content. In order to really have an enriching course about 9/11, students need to be able to explore the concepts from the course. They also need to be able to see for themselves things like hearings and the actual things that occurred on 9/11. So in that regard, they were instrumental in the delivery of the content for the course.
I like the tablets because we don't really have to take notes, because when you're looking at the board and at your tablet, you get a lot more sense of it, and so you can go back if you don't understand something and reread it again and then ask more questions to the teacher.
So the tablets were great. It was easier to look at the PowerPoints, and you could access it at any time, and sometimes I would just be able to Google something that we talked about in class during the lecture.
So you gave us a couple like options when you would give us a tablet like assignment. So a lot of times I would preview the assignment beforehand and then choose like one of the 3 or 4 that you would give us. And that was really fun for me, because then I would be able to choose which one I wanted the most. And I got to read all of them. I did read most of them, but most of the time I was skimming them, and then I would go really in depth on the one that I wanted to.
I do. I like the projects. My favorite one was this one, the building the Twin Towers, the whole World Trade Center. I had so much fun doing that. And the mask was also really enjoyable. Being able to read articles on how soldiers felt in war and how PTSD affected them mentally, and then drawing it on a mask to show how it physically. It was a great learning experience. This class has changed my entire outlook on 9/11 and the wars that followed it.
The projects were fun to make. I liked making the World Trade Center, and because it's kind of more visual, like you can see like the proximity of the different buildings to each other, because it was to scale.
I've learned so much in the first semester that I just didn't know. I didn't know it all for the first term of the class. Really helped me understand the whole ramifications of just this singular attack had on the whole world.
Well, I got out of the class, I feel like I just have such a better understanding of not only 9/11 but the effects of that day, because I just feel like every year 9/11 comes, and on that day we honor the people and everyone gets really sentimental, but then it passes. And I didn't know that much because I was only a year old when it happened. So being able to learn why that happened, to learn about my parents' experiences, and then learn about how that caused different horrible things in our country to happen was really interesting to me. I feel like I have a better understanding of why we are where we are today.
As I was going through the Global Learning Fellowship, it got me thinking, are my lessons challenging my students to see a bigger picture? It's our job, it's our responsibility to make sure that we're opening the window, opening the door, and opening the world for our kids.
Learning from an artist from a different culture, it really showed me that there is so much diversity in the world.
When you see diversity, you understand it. We as human beings should be able to understand diversity by now. We've evolved so much, and I think art is one of the best places to do that.
We learn about what types of art we do, but not what kind of art other countries do and other cultures have. So he helped us incorporate a little bit of his culture into our artwork.
Here, you create your own flag?
Yes.
Ah, great.
Pablo and Mary Lou gave my students an understanding that art is a way that we express ourselves, a way that we record history, a way that we express our culture and tell stories through our work.
He's made me appreciate art more. I really do just see the story in it now.
I feel like art ties the world together. Like that's a way that all the different countries can connect.
We live in a big space, and we're all connected in different ways.
These kids, they are motivated to see the world is not only the United States.
This program that the NEA Foundation offers teachers like myself, the impact it has is not just on me, but on all the students that I work with every day.
Once again, your host, Debbie Allen.
All right. I know you all are having fun. I hate to interrupt. I want you to keep having fun. Well, who's ready to rock? All right, excuse me. Class participation time. Are you ready to rock? All right, come on. Shh. All right. That's a smart question. One educator right here in Montgomery County, Maryland, seeking to engage, excite, and tap the potential of disconnected students, decided to ask. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome from the Montgomery County Public Schools, Randy Levy and Clemente. Music rocks.
Good evening. I teach at the Roberto Clemente Middle School in Germantown, Maryland, and I brought some, all right, Maryland, I brought some awesome 13 and 14-year-olds with me tonight. And I brought with me a class that I teach called Rock Band. Now, before you go all Jack Black on me, you have to understand, I'm gonna throw out a couple buzzwords that are really familiar to us in education. Equitable, enriching, and engaging. Equitable. Music education for schools in this country that have music education programs. If kids want to play instruments at school for free, they can. Clarinets are available, trumpets are available, trombones are available. But not every kid wants to play that instrument. Some kids want to play electric guitars or drums or keys, and they want to learn to rock out. All right. But the problem is, you can only do that if you have the money to afford private lessons or go to a rock camp. It's what we call the pay-to-play program, and that is inequitable. So, we believe that rock band and every type of music should be offered for free in public school. Not only that, it should be enriching. They don't just go and get to jam out in the corner and do whatever they feel like doing. We study the history of popular music. We start right in the 1950s, and we study the music in the context of the culture. Chuck Berry, in the context of segregation. Moving on right into the 1960s, the civil rights movement, protest music, Bob Dylan, black empowerment, Motown, into the 70s, into the 80s, and into the 90s. And with each of these decades, the kids are getting an enriched education and getting to study the music and the history and the culture of our times. But the last thing, and this is the part I did not anticipate, engaging. I knew the music was great. We all grew up listening to it. We still love it. What I didn't anticipate was that when these kids got up on stage to perform, we weren't just cheering them on for doing a great job. We were involved in the process, because this music is music that we grew up listening to. It's our music. If this music, if we wait to teach it another 50 years, no offense, but we're all gonna be gone, and it's just gonna be history. By teaching it now, it is engaging. Our grandparents, our parents, our kids, all enjoying this music together. So enriching, engaging, and equitable rock band brought to a school near you. So ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you a group I'm very proud of, the Roberto Clemente Middle School Rock Band. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word, life, it means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one, doctor, everything's gonna be all right. Instead of asking him how much of your time is left, ask him how much of your mind, baby. Cause in this life, things are much harder than the afterworld. This life, you're on your own. And if the elevator starts to break down, go crazy, punch a higher floor.
but you're living in. Take a look around you, at least you got friends. See, come my old lady, for a friendly word. She picked up the phone, dropped it on the floor, was all I heard. Are we gonna let the others bring us down? Oh no, let's go crazy, let's get nuts. Look for the purple banana till they put us in a truck. Let's go. We're all excited, but we don't know why. Maybe it's 'cause we're all gonna die. And when we do, what's it all for? Better live now, before the grim reaper come knocking on your door. Are we gonna let the others bring us down? Oh no, let's go crazy, let's get nuts. Look for the purple banana till they put us in a truck. Let's go. Come on, baby, let's get nuts. Let's go crazy. Are we gonna let the others bring us down? Oh no, let's go crazy. Say, let's go crazy. Let's go. That's everything will be alright. We'll make everything go wrong. Bills and girls and daffodils will fill. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Take me away!
Wow! Woo! Yes! Bravo! Woo! All right, now that's what we call the truth. Clemente Music Rocks. That is incredible. Love that. I don't know which I enjoyed more, that name of that Clemente School Rocks, Clemente Music Rock, or the Let's Go Crazy. Randy, Miss Levi, Randy Levi, thank you. That was amazing. I'm betting a few of you feel like that's your daily mantra at your school. Let's go crazy. Randy Levy, thank you for helping us all go a little crazy tonight. That's what we need, more of that. Those are our future rock stars right out of public school. All right. So, let's get back to recognizing some great educators. Let's take a look at our fourth Horace Mann finalist.
What does this graph tell us?
That bacon is a favorite.
All right, so bacon. So what does that mean we have to know, we have to do when we go shopping?
Buy a lot of bacon.
You gotta buy a lot of bacon.
I teach students who are here for various reasons. Some of them have behavior problems. They have difficulty at home. Some of them have arrest records. Some of them just can't function in larger school settings.
Our students come to us today with a growing list of needs for a variety of reasons.
I had ADHD growing up. I went through some anger issues.
I used to be a troubled kid.
I had a development delay.
The population of students that Afreen works with, success for them comes in small, incremental steps, and she conveys that to her students.
A lot of times, the way I grade is I go around the room, and if a student didn't get them all right, I might look at it and say, for this particular child, is it important that he knows how to do the word problems on this test? And if it's not, let him feel success where he can. Because to me, it's not right or wrong, it's the process.
She was very motivational, and she helped, and not only was her class enjoyable and you can have a good laugh, but it was also a good work environment.
It wasn't like normal classes, it was more energetic. She tried to make the class interesting.
All right, project time.
You want to go first? One of the things that I do in my classroom is to make real-world connections. For example, I have a student who's really into cars.
8 of them said they like a Lamborghini, and then I asked all the teachers, and they said they like a Jag.
So teachers liked Jag or a Bentley, huh?
I try to reach the kids on levels where math lessons are important to them.
She understands that we all come from different places, different backgrounds, and recognizes the importance for all of us to feel important.
There are those aha moments that we all get in teaching. My aha moments is when I'm out in the hallway. It's when the kids go, thank you for talking to me. It's when I get an email from a student saying, do you remember me? I had you when, and it was 3 years ago.
I met Mrs. Godey her first year teaching back in 6th grade, 31 years ago.
She had told us way back in 6th grade that we would end up getting married.
She was I would say my second mom. I ran to her about everything.
When I was upset, she'd always talk to me, and it really helped me through my middle school years, and that's why I still enjoy to this day talking to her.
Most teachers I've met, you give them enough trouble, eventually they just label you and they throw you to the side. She won't give up. She wants to build us up. She wants us to rise and do greater things.
She fostered what is now my passion. I'm a music therapist because she let me take some of my class periods to go and work with kids with special needs.
My now husband had proposed to me in high school, and she was just adamant, you're too young, you've got to finish high school. She didn't stop in 6th grade when she taught me. She continued to do that. We'll never be able to repay what she's done for me.
It's great when they come back or they write to me or I see their parents in the community and they tell me that their kids are doing great and thank me that if it hadn't been for you, they wouldn't have gotten through school.
We like to say that we make a difference, but that's truly making a difference, not only today and tomorrow, but for generations.
Please welcome to the stage Afreen Godey, accompanied by the president of the Virginia Education Association, James Livingston. And now our 5th and last Horseman finalist.
My passion is math. It's like a challenge, and I like challenges. Math is all about problem solving. It's all about perseverance and sticking with the struggle. I just love it. I want my kids to love it so much.
When I visited Crystal's classroom, it's not set up like a typical classroom. There's not rows of desks.
She looks for ways to keep them engaged in the classroom, so if you've noticed, she has flexible seating in her room.
There's a variety of seating options, and kids get to choose the seating option for that day or that week.
She works in special groups. The children are allowed to work with friends.
Let's look at that one.
In these small groups, they feel it's safe to ask questions and not be ridiculed.
When you're sitting at her table, when you're asking a question, she looks at you and pays full attention.
Crystal May's small group math instruction that she uses has really affected this whole building and our district.
So just last year, these are our Ames Web scores after implementing a year of small group math instruction.
She's willing to share ideas. She wants to get ideas from others. She's always thinking about what's going on in her classroom and how she can make it better. And then she seeks out trying to find those different ways, like writing grants to raise money for the kids. And then she's gone and done math trainings and trained math teachers across the state.
I've had so many teachers say, I wish someone would have taught me math like this. And when that happens with them, I know they're taking that back to their classroom, and it's going to make math better for all their kids for years to come.
She has a child with ADHD. I think when Crystal looks at the classroom, they may all have attention problems, and she wants them to succeed.
What makes me truly happy with these kids and with my own kid is when they are like, I did it. I didn't think I could do it, and I did it. That really touches me and makes me really happy.
She's totally dedicated to her kids. She has a unique ability to really deliver it to kids. She's really like a kid whisperer.
When the kid comes in the morning, she makes the kids feel welcome. She makes them feel loved.
She greets them by name, welcomes them to class.
There are 25 kids in here, but each person has a story, and that story impacts what I can do with them in a day. So it's important to be able to read your kids and how they're feeling every morning. Today's kindness challenge to get us started with our week is to make and deliver cookies to someone in the communities. The best way to teach kids in general is just to lead by example. If I'm going to ask these kids to be kind to one another, then that's exactly what I should do. We need to be over at the maintenance building in about an hour when all of the crew takes their break. It was so sweet to listen to the kids talk to them about why they were there.
Giving me these cookies for appreciation.
I mean, those are the guys that are behind the scenes, and they deserve some appreciation also.
Crystal's an outstanding educator, and she's an outstanding advocate for our profession.
She takes a lot of pride and a lot of time and effort every day to make sure that her students' needs are met.
If I stop, I feel like I've stopped learning and I've stopped challenging myself. And that's not what I want for myself, for my career, for the kids in my classroom. To fight that off, I just keep going.
Please welcome Crystal May, accompanied by the president of the Kansas National Education Association, Mark Farr. I think we all agree that all 5 of our Horace Mann awardees are certainly worthy of recognition. The NEA Foundation Awards for Teaching Excellence recognize educators from across the country for their professional practice, advocacy for teaching, attention to diversity, community, and parental engagement, and commitment to professional development. California Casualty has also been a committed and long-term sponsor for the Foundation's award program. Since 1914, the company has provided people who serve our communities with better value and service backed by millions of assets. The tradition of giving back is central to their business culture. Please help me welcome Chief Executive Officer Bo Brown. So now let's meet the outstanding class of 2018 California Casualty awardees.
Good evening. My name is Bonnie Garrett, and I bring you greetings from the Alabama Education Association in the great state of Alabama, where I teach Project Lead the Way to middle school students at Morris, PA.
I'm James Harris. I teach English at Soldotna High School in Soldotna, Alaska. I'm a proud public educator. I'm so thankful for it because it saved my life.
Hello, my name is Kenora Hernandez, and I'm from the Arizona Education Association. I teach at Kyrene de las Manitas, where I'm an academic interventionist. Thank you to California Casualty for this award.
Hello, my name is April Reisman. I represent the natural state of Arkansas. I teach 8th grade English in the special education classroom, and I'm very thankful for the NEA Foundation and California Casualty for keeping the promise of public education alive.
Good evening, my name is Wendy Turner. I teach 3rd graders in Wilmington, Delaware. I am blessed, fortunate, and proud to be a public school educator. Thank you to the NEA Foundation, California Casualty, and the Delaware State Education Association for your support.
I am Michael Pope. I represent FEA. We have the privilege of teaching American military, both stateside and abroad. I teach at Zama Middle School in Camp Zama, Japan, and where we have the privilege of supporting our military community.
Good evening, my name is Joshua Bearden. I'm a representative for the Georgia Association of Educators, and I teach 5th grade at Northside Elementary in Cedartown, Georgia. Teaching and inspiring students is my passion. Thank you.
Aloha, I'm Michael Klein. I'm a teacher at Kilauea School. I teach special education preschool. I love teaching and I love my students. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Melissa Farrow, and I am a proud member of the Idaho Education Association. I am a STEM teacher from Caldwell, Idaho, and I'm happy to be here tonight representing all of the fantastic public educators back home.
Good evening. My name is Mary Ellen Daniels, and I'm a proud member of the Illinois Education Association. And thanks to organizations like the NEA Foundation and California Casualty Insurance, I empower students for college, career, and civic life at West Chicago Community High School.
Hello, Carissa Richardson-Lorman from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm part of the ISTA, and I'm a 7th grade science and 7th and 8th grade engineering teacher, and I'm a proud product of a union household and public schooling.
Good evening. My name is Kim Pelzer. I am a 4th grade teacher from Tipton, Iowa. I'm an extremely proud teacher in rural Iowa and a rural Iowa public educator. Thank you to the Iowa State Education Association for sponsoring my event here, and I'm here to represent all of my fellow teachers at home.
Hello, I'm Crystal May from Mays, Kansas, with the Kansas Education Association, and a proud 4th grade public school educator.
Hello, my name is Terralyn Fleming. I teach kindergarten through 12th grade drama at J. Graham Brown School in Louisville, Kentucky.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tia Mills, and I'm representing the Louisiana Association of Educators. And I want to thank California Casualty and the NEA Foundation for helping educators like me be represented. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mary Dunn. I am an educator from Maine. I teach 5th grade Title I students in a literacy classroom, and I want to thank everyone for your support.
Greetings on behalf of the Maryland State Education Association. My name is Michael Williams. I'm a high school social studies teacher and the co-founder of the Minority Scholars Program. Thank you.
My name is Maria Lay, and I'm a proud member of Education Minnesota. I teach 3rd grade at Central Park Elementary, and it's just such a blessing to be able to witness and take part in the development of tomorrow's leaders.
I'm Kelly Elder. I teach 6th grade geography at C.R. Anderson Middle School in Helena, Montana. I'm one of thousands of educators in our state that are doing our best for our young people, and thanks to MFT and the NEA Foundation for this, as well as California Casualty.
I'm Kimberly Erickson from the Nebraska State Education Association. I teach in Norfolk Middle School, and I teach band and orchestra. And I believe that every student deserves a quality education that includes the arts and education.
Arjun Safari, Pascack Valley High School, New Jersey Education Association. My students find their own voice and become global ambassadors, teaching everyone about diversity in cultures and spreading love and empathy around the world.
Hi, I'm Candace from NEA New Mexico. I teach 7th grade life science. Hola desde Bella Nueva Mexico.
I'm from Syracuse, New York. I'm a proud member of the New York State United Teachers. I am public school proud, and I'm proud to teach in a public school.
My name is Bobby Kavnar. I teach at South Point High School in Belmont, North Carolina, and I'm an association rep, and I'm proud to be NCAE.
My name is Nancy Dowen from the great state of North Dakota. I teach math at Cheyenne High School, and I am blessed every day to help my students reach for success.
I'm John Hazel, 2018 Oklahoma Teacher of the Year, proudly representing the Oklahoma Education Association. And if we want to keep America great, it will require an equitable, properly funded public education system.
Buenas noches, soy Gloria Pereira Robertson, the daughter of Mexican immigrants. This is my 21st year teaching bilingual kindergarten students, proud member of the OEA, and I just want to say that I have seen for myself how education has the power to change the destiny of a family in one generation, because I'm proof of it.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. I bring you greetings from the great state of South Carolina and the South Carolina Education Association. I am Dr. Anthony Pitts, and I am a teacher.
I am Beth Kaltsoulis with the South Dakota Education Association. I teach math at the Yankton Middle School in Yankton, South Dakota.
And let us all support and advocate children, our country's most important resource.
Good evening. My name is Cora Darrell Martin. I'm an affiliate of the Tennessee Education Association. I am a general music and band director at Whitthorne Middle School in Columbia, Tennessee, and I'm grateful for this recognition. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Revati Balakrishnan from Austin, Texas, proud member of Texas State Teachers Association. I teach language arts, social studies. Let's grow good teachers so that we can grow great students. Thank you.
My name is Jody Lynn Tolley, and I teach in Salt Lake City, Utah. I teach the wonderful students of Skyline High School how to think, how to be kind to people who are different from themselves, and I teach American Sign Language.
Good evening. I'm Afreen Yusuf Godi with the Virginia Education Association. I teach alternative education, and I want to change the world one student at a time.
Susan Palmer, Washington Education Association. I teach sociology at the Aspen Award-winning Walla Walla Community College.
I'm Toni Poling, an English teacher from Fairmont Senior High School in the mountain state of West Virginia. We're rich in natural resources, but our greatest resource is our students. And I stand here tonight for them and for all of public education.
Barb Van Dorn from Wisconsin, and I am the K-12 school counselor in a very small rural district of only 300 students. On behalf of rural districts, I want to say thank you to public education because I don't know where we'd be without you.
I'm John Trokimoinen and a proud member of the Wyoming Education Association. And I teach high school social studies at Natrona County High School in Casper. And I am so pleased and proud to be able to help grow kids to get them ready to be productive global citizens of the 21st century. Thank you so much.
One awardee could not join us tonight, but we'd like to acknowledge him. Congratulations to the Missouri NEA awardee, Patrick Hemmingson. All right. Now, I was reading some of the tweets that have been coming in, and I thought I'd share a couple of them with you. From one, Motion Ghaffari, hashtag Fearless Ghaffar. Thank you at NEA Gala for recognizing educators tonight and every day. From James, Alaska, at Alaska_toy17. 2, at the gala tonight. So honored and humbled, thinking of my students and the teachers I've had and have in my life. James is in the audience. 3, Allison L. Morris, at Allison Morris. The amazing hashtag Miss Debbie Allen kicks off NEA Gala with a list of the ways she personally benefited from public schooling. It was in public schools that I discovered my passion for art and music. Thank goodness for that. Johnny Simmons at 7 Store 3. Looking good, Miss Debbie Allen. What is your phone number? All righty then. Moving on. We hope everyone at home and here are really enjoying themselves. Please keep tweeting. Watch it, Johnny. No more tweets from you. Now, once again, please help me recognize the 2018 California Casualty Awardees. And enjoy the end of your meal. I think there's coffee and dessert. Is there tequila?
So now it's time to introduce one of our dynamic, exciting, amazing, fantastical Global Learning Fellows. And it's his little bit of a crazy side that his students and we at the Foundation really like. So let's meet Craig Beals from the great state of Montana.
I'm Craig Beals, high school science teacher. But my classroom is a little different than you might expect.
This could take all day.
When I have a question, I don't hold back.
Holy.
I do experiments, jump right in, and figure it out.
That was awesome!
No matter where I am or what I'm attempting.
Let's do this.
I have just one goal.
I saw nature explode.
I need to understand the secrets of this planet we call home.
Oh, thank you. You know, 10 years ago, I stopped teaching. I stopped teaching the way I thought I was supposed to teach. I stopped with drill and the kill, and I stopped with the rote memorization, and I decided to chase my curiosity and let my students do the same. And when that happened, I fell in love with teaching. You see, think about this. When we're little kids, how do we learn? We learn by picking up handfuls of dirt and shoving it in our mouth to see what it tastes like. We pick up the cake and we squish it through our fingers just to see what it feels like. We fall down, we get back up, we fall down, we get back up. We learn because we're curious. When we get older, curiosity doesn't go away. We just forget to listen to it. We forget to chase our curiosity. 10 years ago, I decided I was going to start chasing mine, and I was going to convince my students to do the same. Well, what does that mean? To chase your curiosity? I think you saw a little bit of it up there on the screen. But to me, as a science teacher, it looks an awful lot like this. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a ring of fantastic smoke shooting at you. This is what I call a halo of hope, people. This is what I blast my students right off their chair. I hit them with a ring, the halo of hope. And really, if you're wondering what I've got here, this is just a garbage can that I stole right off of the street out front here. And then I ripped the shower curtain off the hotel shower, so that's unfortunate. And then I can't even see you people. And then I just filled it up with smoke, and I mean, look at this. What's the point? The point is this. This is a culmination of me trying to find exciting and engaging things to catch my students' attention. This is me playing. This is me loving teaching. Now, when this mindset takes over, when you allow yourself to be a kid again, when you allow yourself to be curious, and you allow yourself to have fun, it takes over all aspects of your life. This summer, I got to travel with the Global Learning Fellows to Peru and the NEA Foundation, and it was life-transforming for me. And I think what you're going to find out is that even when I'm traveling, I can't escape my curiosity.
Hi guys, Craig Beals from Beals Science, and I find myself here in Lima, Peru, on the Pacific coast. Look at that. When I was planning a trip to Peru, everybody talked about altitude sickness. Well, obviously, We don't have to deal with altitude here because we're at sea level. But when you get up into the highlands of the Andes and get up to 11,000, 12,000 feet, some funny things start to happen with your body. And it can be called altitude sickness. So I decided to make myself a lab rat or a guinea pig and try to test, all right, what are the effects of altitude sickness? And I've got an oximeter, which is gonna measure the amount of oxygen in my heart rate. And I'm gonna take this from sea level up to 11,000 feet, up to 12,000 feet. Right now, my oxygen level is very good. But a couple hours from now, we're gonna find out that things change very drastically when you get up to altitude where the oxygen isn't nearly as thick. One of the toughest things about being here is when you start going uphill even more. That's when your body's trying to compensate for the lack of oxygen up in the air. Heart gets racing, and you gotta watch out for cars. Not just your breath, look at this. Welcome to Cusco. Hey, where the altitude's high and driving's chaos. So we need to get way up there to really feel the effects. Let's get up above 12,000 feet in Chinchero. Look at my oxygen levels. They've tanked out, and my beats per minute, my heart has skyrocketed because it's trying to pump more oxygen into my blood. So we hit 12,000 feet, and we get in the train, and we're actually gonna go downhill as we work our way into agua calientes, hot water. Look at my oxygen level. It's coming back up. My heart rate's going down. Until you hike up to Machu Picchu, and you get to see this. And not only is it so spectacular that it takes your breath away, you're still reeling from the effects of altitude anyway. Look at my beats per minute, 131. Back in the train. So believe it or not, we're getting in the train, but we're headed back uphill to Cusco. So we're back to Lima. And notice, my oxygen levels are right back where they should be, at 97%. My heart rate is low, and I am relaxed. But I can't allow myself to get too relaxed because I need to do that entire trip again, all in the name of science.
It's a rough life. It's a rough life to have to do a once-in-a-lifetime trip 2 times in 2 weeks, all in the name of science, right? It's pretty rough. Now, what does chasing your curiosity look like? To me, it looks like this. It looks like 50 pounds of CO2 with a pressure washer handle that I've dismantled and hooked up to some PVC. I've welded together some tubing here, and my goal is this. To me, science and curiosity means we need to make it snow in the National Building Museum. Now, that's my goal, okay? That's my goal. We're going to see how this goes down. You never know. In 3, 2, 1. So here's the thing, in 5 short minutes, if I can show you just a little bit of taste and remind you what curiosity is like from when you were little and convince you to go home and chase your curiosity, but more importantly, go home and convince your students to chase theirs. Imagine what we can do in education if we just chase our curiosity. So my challenge to you is this, teachers of the world, chase curiosity.
ladies and gentlemen, once again, Lil Buck.
Pure poetry in motion. Little Buck, let's give it for him. One more time. Thank you. The NEA Foundation Award for Outstanding Service annually recognizes individuals or organizations that have dedicated a lifetime to supporting public education or have significantly contributed to advancing public education in a shorter lifetime. It is typically given to recipients outside the field. In 2017, the foundation recognized Global Kids, and in the year before, it honored Hispanic College Fund. The foundation is indebted to First National Bank of Omaha for its multi-year support of this prestigious award. This sixth-generation family-owned business is part of the largest privately owned bank holding company in the United States and is widely recognized for its spirit of innovation and commitment to customer service. Please welcome Jerry O'Flanagan, Executive Vice President of the Consumer Banking Group at First National Bank of Omaha.
Thank you, Debbie, for those very kind words. It's really an honor to be here tonight. We at the bank feel so privileged to be part of this association. To understand the impact of tonight's honoree, let's listen to one of their students.
Looking forward is really the things that we pray for. We're a proud people, we're a strong people, but at the same time, we also live in a modern world. The American Indian College Fund really supports us moving forward, that they're not just trying to plan for what's now, but they have a goal to increase the rates of students who are receiving their diplomas, that are receiving funding, and they want to see it grow more. My ancestors didn't struggle, so why could it make anything of my life? And that's what makes me go. That's what pushes me forward, because I know I'm living their prayers.
Alberta is among the 1% of American Indian and Alaskan Native students who enrolled in college. To address this gap and glaring need, the American Indian College Fund annually empowers more than 4,000 American Indian students to start and stay in school, complete their degrees, and launch careers that benefit themselves, their communities, and all of us through their success and preservation of their ancestry and heritage. The American Indian College Fund is changing the landscape of higher education today, one student at a time. Their support and academic programs ensure success starting before the first day of preschool and continuing through their first jobs in their chosen careers. For this ongoing and comprehensive commitment for more than 25 years, it is my pleasure to present the 2018 First National Bank of Omaha Award for Outstanding Service to Public Education to the American Indian College Fund. And accepting on behalf of the fund is the President, Cheryl Crazy Bull, and Board Chair, David Yarlett.
Omidakiapi, Wachiampi wi Machiapi, Lena Shichanga Lakota Imataha, Lena Itancha American Indian College Fund, Chante Washte Nape Chayuzapo. Friends and relatives, my Lakota name is Wachiampi wi, which means they depend on her. I am a Shichanga Lakota from the Rosebud Reservation from the great state of South Dakota. I am honored to be here as the President and CEO of the American Indian College Fund, and I greet you with a good heart and a handshake. On a personal note, I just want to note that I am a graduate of public schools, as are all my children, and my grandchildren are graduating from public schools as well. I come from a family of teachers, and I happen to be married to a retired teacher. I want to say, Wopila, thank you, because I'm honored to be here to accept this award along with my friend and colleague, Dr. David Yarlott, who is the president of Little Bighorn College and the chair of the College Fund's Board of Trustees. My experiences have shown me that I cannot take the education of American Indian and Alaska Native people for granted. Having worked for over 35 years in education, including in my role now as the president of this nation's oldest, highest-rated Native education charity, I am acutely aware that we have a long way to go to achieve equity in our pursuit of education. Only 13.8%, and I want to restate that, 13.8% of tribal people in the United States who are 25 and older have a college degree. That is less than half of the attainment rate for all other people in this country. We must, in our lifetime, achieve parity. We know, just as you do, that education is transformative and that access to education is critical to an improved quality of life, and most importantly for us as Indigenous people, it is an essential part of preserving our identities. The College Fund does more than provide scholarships. We support tribal colleges and universities. The 35 institutions that we support, their very existence emerged from a revolutionary vision of tribally controlled education. Our institutions, which are mostly located on or near Indian reservations, provide a culturally based higher education that is very vital to who we are as people and as tribal nations. And I want to note that since we began as tribally controlled institutions 50 years ago, we have educated hundreds of Native and rural teachers. I think we might be the largest provider of Native and rural teachers as a system. Our tribal colleges and universities make it possible for thousands of students to go to college, something we know they would never be able to do if it were not for our institutions. The students like Alberta, one of our scholarship recipients whose video you saw, she is voicing the very heart of who our students are. Our students are the dreams of our ancestors come to life. Our students bring those dreams into the classroom and then into their careers. We think for ourselves what an honor it is for them because they are the living embodiment of their ancestors' prayers. Students like her are everywhere in our communities. There are thousands of them. We really appreciate that the NEA Foundation recognized us because the visibility of American Indians and Alaska Native peoples in this country very much needs to be drawn out. Since 1989, the College Fund has provided more than 125,000 scholarships totaling more than $100 million. We do it with the support of people like yourselves. Our ancestors dreamed of a better life for the generations coming after them. Through the transformative role of education and the work of the American Indian College Fund, we are helping those dreams come true. So I thank you, National Education Association leadership and membership, for sharing your powerful commitment to educational equity by recognizing our shared support for public education in this country and by recognizing the work that we do with our students. Wopila, thank you.
Kahe, bulachis sashpi, biub salagak, biudasik, biudashivagari. Greetings. I introduce myself in my native language, the Great Apsalaga Nation. We call ourselves Apsalaga, but the rest of the world knows us as the Crow Indians. I'm from Crow Agency, Montana. I belong to the Greasy Mouth clan, and I also belong to the Greasy Mouth Children's Clan. As the president of Little Bighorn College on the Crow Indian Reservation in eastern Montana, and the president of the College Fund's Board of Trustees, I am delighted to be here. Like President Crazy Bull, I have devoted my career. I take my role at the Tribal College, serving the Crow Indian Agency community very seriously. Working for a tribal college is just not a career, it is a sacred calling. Tribal colleges do not merely provide American Indian students with a college education. They provide students with a space to succeed. Tribal college students learn that their lives as Native people matter. Their education is grounded in Native identity, and it makes a difference in their lives. I personally am an example of how tribal colleges can affect and impact a life. After attending and withdrawing from 2 state colleges after high school, I learned of a tribal college that was established locally. It was nice to be able to attend college and still continue to speak my native language, be around family, able to participate in cultural activities, and still be able to pursue my academic goals. What my tribal college provided was an opportunity to strengthen my confidence, my self-esteem. I was a person with a name, not lost in a huge university where I was a student with a number. That foundation of solidifying who I am as a Native person helped me through the journey of obtaining my bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. Obtaining these credentials have guided me to where I am today. President of Little Bighorn College, Chair of the Montana Tribal College Presidents Association, Chair of the American Indian Education Consortium, and Chair of this outstanding organization, the American Indian College Fund. Thank you for recognizing the American Indian College Fund tonight. Our work is important because we see how it transforms our students, much like how it's transformed my life. By recognizing this, you are recognizing the importance of our students to be who they are. Aho. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Vice President of the National Education Association, Becky Pringle.
Good evening. My colleagues told me that there was something missing from my outfit tonight. It was Eagles green. Good evening. I am Becky Pringle, the Vice President of the National Education Association. In that position, I have the honor of serving as the chair of the Member Benefits Corporation. It is with great excitement that I let you know that this is a very important year for member benefits. 50 years, 5 decades. We have the men and women who work at NEA member benefits, who have made it their life's calling to ensure that our members have the support and the services they need to do the jobs they love. It is with great honor and a great privilege that I ask you to join me in celebrating them on this monumental day. Please give it up for NEA member benefits. I would ask that the staff of member benefits who have joined us here this evening, would you please rise and receive the kind of thank you that our teachers and support professionals and retired members and our students, our higher education members, because we know that their dedication drives yours. Please help me welcome the President and CEO of Member Benefits, Mr. Gary Phoebus.
Oh my golly, thank you so much, Becky, and I'm so glad that you're wearing a crown because as the chair of our board, you certainly deserve one. And also thank you, Becky, for inspiring and empowering all of us at Member Benefits. You really help us do our job, and you help us do it really well. So thank you so much, and good evening, everybody. It is a thrill to bring the evening to a close, and it's extremely gratifying to be part of this amazing group of individuals representing the NEA, the NEA Foundation, our state affiliates, member benefits, our business partners, all of whose support and advocacy for education is absolutely unequaled. You know, as NEAMB marks its 50th year of striving to meet the needs of members and their families, we're continually reminded of the extraordinary commitment of so many educators to provide students the very best opportunity for success in buildings and work sites across the country. This dedication and passion year over year often goes unnoticed, yet it has an immeasurable impact on the lives and futures of students. Tonight, we have the opportunity to elevate and celebrate the remarkable contributions these individuals have made and to honor them here together. There is no other endeavor so important as that of helping to shape the minds and the lives of children and to ready them for all of the global opportunities. So, it's in that spirit, it is truly exciting for me to reintroduce the finalists for the NEA Member Benefits Award for Teaching Excellence. I had the opportunity to meet all of these individuals, and they are all extraordinary, and it's a shame all but one can win this. So, let's review from the Kansas NEA. We have Crystal May. From the Louisiana Association of Educators, Tia Mills. From the North Carolina Association of Educators, Bobby Kavanaugh. From the Texas State Teachers Association, Revathi Balakrishnan. And from the Virginia Education Association, Afrin Gutti. So I have in my pocket the winner of this year's award. Thank you for that. And I am happy to announce from the North Carolina Association of Educators, Bobby Kavanaugh.
What have you Thank you. Thank you to all of the sponsors. Thank you to California Casualty and Horace Mann, of course the NEA Foundation, and to all of the wonderful people who made this possible. I don't know what to say. I am certainly not the best teacher in this room, but I want to tell you how thankful I am that I get to be the one who's raised up to represent what's best about teaching. Thank you. And now that I have you all trapped, I didn't write anything because I was so sure this was not happening. And so you will be evidence that I wrote this on the back of the card they gave me because it's wonderful though, because it means I have to speak from my heart. And so let me tell you, the strength, thank you. The strength of public schools has always been and will continue to be that they are public. Your community is not just who you choose to surround yourself with. Your community is all of us. Your community is who America is. Now more than ever, we need empathy. We're at a turning point, and we must decide what we means, who we are as public schools, who we are as Americans. And so we must decide now what it means to say American, or neighbor, or brother, or family. You must be taught to hate. You must be carefully taught to hate. Children don't hate. Only the unloved hate. But once you are taught to hate, there's only one way to learn to love, and that is to be carefully taught to love. And the way we do that is through public education, freely given, offered to all equally. Now more than ever, we need empathy. And Barbara Kingsolver once wrote that art is the antidote that calls us back from the edge of numbness and restores our ability to feel for one another. Now more than ever, we need the arts. Little Buck today showed me what was in his heart. And I know him now in a way that I never would have known him before. We need music. We need the arts. We need painting. We need dancing. We need love. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Bravo! Fantastic. What a night we have shared. I have so loved being here with you tonight. I so love who you are and what you do. I so love that you will continue to inspire millions and millions of young people that will keep America strong and innovative. So let's give ourselves a big hug for supporting the NEA Foundation. And let's rock one more time, all right? Come on. Clemente, music rocks. Let's go. Y'all can get up and party now. Come on. It's over.
You remember the 21st night of September?
Come on, get up!
I was changing the vibe, tenders, while chasing the night away. Hearts were ringing in the key that our souls were singing as we danced in the night. Remember how the stars stole the night away. remember about the love we shared in September. Only blue top love, remember true love we shared today. The bell was ringing, our soul was singing. Do you remember every cloud day?
Clemente School of Rock, Little Buck, Cyrus, we love you. Next year is the 50th anniversary. Don't miss it. We need more music. Come on, party. Let's go. The party just started. Thank you so much. See you next year.